YouTube, I'm Mark from Wandering Souls. Welcome back to my channel. Finally a new collection update. It's been a while. I got some CDs to show you guys. Like 8 CDs or something like that. Kind of mismatch of genres as well. So got some rock, some metal, heavy metal, some death metal, some thrash. Yeah, kind of a mixture of all things. Before we go into that, we are listening to Pink Floyd. Wish You Were Here, a fantastic album. Everybody knows Pink Floyd, so I don't have to tell you guys who these guys are. It's just legends, and yeah, another fantastic band. Great album. So let's start off with the collection update. Hopefully it don't take too long, but I'll try to keep it short and sweet for you guys. And yeah, first one up is a band I don't have to introduce to you guys. I think this is a band everybody knows. Saxon. This is Thunderbolt. This is their 2018 album. Fantastic heavy metal. Yeah, like you guys know from these guys. Fantastic band, fantastic album, great tunes, nice digipack version here. Also comes with a mini poster here. It's really cool. And there is some tool gates on the back. And the booklet looks like this. And of course there are lyrics in there. Probably hard to read for you guys there, but you know what the drill is there. Fantastic album, great melodies, great tunes. I really like most of the tunes that are on here. Also like the surprise vocals from the dude from Manowar on Predator. You know, certainly you hear a growl on a heavy metal album, you think, what the fuck, who is that? And you look at it, it's the dude from Manowar. So he was asked to do those background vocals. There are some other people doing background vocals as well, but they're not that influential in the song. They stand out or anything, because they are a bit in the same vein of Biff's vocals. Great tunes. Thunderbolt is great. The Secret of Flight, Nosferatu, Predator. Great tunes. There's also a couple of bonus tracks on there, like 3 or 4. Nosferatu is even 3 times on here. The regular studio version, the raw version, and the live version. I kind of think that's a bit over too much, but yeah, they probably grabbed those from a single or something, those songs. And also Thunderbolt on the live version on here. But fantastic album. I really enjoyed listening to this, and just was even listening to it before I recorded this video, and I still think it's a solid album. Yeah, Saxon is in a good role last couple of decades, and they don't use a lot of bad albums actually, so I really like this band. UK heavy metal, you can't go wrong. Active since the 70s, great band. Next up, reissue of Heathen. This is Breaking the Silence. This is the band's first album. Technical thrash. This is released original in 1987, I think, and this is a reissue done by Century Media in 2008. Really nice reissue. Yeah, great bands. I was familiar with their later albums, but not with this one, but I'm glad I bought it. Fantastic thrash, great tunes on this one. Not that technical as the album after this one. This beginning was more technical than this, but it's really great thrash here. Well, I was interrupted, of course. Booklet here. Well taken care of booklet. Hope you guys can see it a bit because it's getting a bit darker outside. Nice, well taken care of booklet here with pictures and lyrics and stuff like that. I really like that. The 3 issues. You know, really great deal there. Fantastic album. I really enjoyed it. Definitely will spin this some more. Definitely will fit between the other albums I have from these guys. Great band, Heathen. Breaking the silence. That's the nip of the beer. Next up, Rebuy actually. This is an album not a lot of people from the band like a lot. This is 1 Hot Minute by Red Hot Chili Peppers. You think what? Yes. I really like this album actually. It's a way different album from the band. This was released in 1995 and had Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction on guitar, replacing John Frusciante. But he had a really nice contribution to their sound. This album sounds a bit darker than the regular stuff and sounds a bit more personal in the lyrics, and that's what grabs me on this album actually. I really enjoy this. Like I said, it's not the sound you are used to from this band, but definitely is worth looking into. There were some singles from this. I think Warp was a single, and My Friends, of course, was also a single. But some really decent tracks on here. And show the booklet fastly. Show that to you guys. But if you're a fan of the band and you don't like this album, just give it another try with another mindset. If you are in more darker space at the moment or something, just give it a try. It definitely has some really great tunes on here. Eventually Dave Navarro left again, and John Frusciante came back with the album Californication, and then the rest is history, of course. But this is definitely a really nice album. I really enjoyed spinning this. I'm really glad I have this back in the collection for pretty cheap. So I thought, why not? You know, this is one of the albums I got rid of for the known story with the move, and but it's back in the collection. So 1 Hot Minute by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Next up. Also Rebuy. This is Sign of the Hammer by Manowar. Classic heavy metal. This is not my favorite Manowar album by any means, but there's some really nice tunes in All Plant Man, Play on 10, Animals, Thor the Powerhead. Yeah, and Guyana is a really great song. Cult of the Damned, the last track on this album. This album definitely a bit more bass heavy. Definitely can feel that Joey DeMaio is composed a lot on this album. Only a few tracks were only one track is also composed by Ross the Boss. The rest is all Joey DeMaio, and definitely can feel on this album that's definitely more bass heavy on the track here. The inside is not really special, but nonetheless, this was released in 1984, I think, and yeah, really nice album to get back in the collection. I want to get back some more Manowar. Kind of this led them astray for a long time, and I don't know why, but definitely glad to have this back. Sign of the Hammer by Manowar. Next up, This is Afterburner by ZZ Top. Oh, that's definitely something different again, yes. Great album, released in 1985, just after the Eliminator album, which is a phenomenal album. We got great classics on this, and this was the follow-up to this. Definitely a bit in the same vein. It has that catchy 80s tunes vibe through this rock band, and with Eliminator also had more keyboard heavy, also synth heavy, let's put it that way. Yeah, really nice tunes on here. I was really surprised. My favorite tune is probably Can't Stop Rocking, then a really nice up-tempo track on this. Yeah, I really like also they use the car now, but that in space surroundings, so they try to evolve with the concept here. But yeah, definitely different than the early ZZ Top material that was more rocky and bluesy and stuff like that. This is definitely a bit different, but it definitely fits the time frame the band was in back in the day, and yeah, it's really awesome. This is definitely an overlooked album, but guys, if you like Eliminator, you also like this album for sure. Oh, there goes the booklet here. You will like this fantastic album cover once again. Great stuff. ZZ Top with Afterburner, the band's 9th album, and definitely worth looking into, guys. Next up, another reissue. This is a 2006 reissue of the 1996 album Tunes of War by Gravedigger. Classic heavy metal from Germany. Really awesome stuff. I always liked this album, but never owned it in any time weird way. But finally, I got around to pick up a copy. It was fun, always fun of the title track. Really, Rebellion, I think it's called. It's not really exactly the title track, but has the sentence Tunes of War in it. That's why I probably thought that. But Rebellion, the clans are marching, that track with the bagpipes in it. Really recognizable track, and definitely classic in the band's discography. But it definitely has more tracks like that, and straightforward heavy metal tracks. It's really nice diversity on this album, and I really like this heavy metal tuned stuff. It's the band speaks about the history of Scotland. That's why there's a lot of bagpipes involved in this album. There are a couple of more albums in where the story continues in their later stage of their career, but this was the first one in that tradition. I also have the Scottish kilt color, you know, the squares and things. You can see better, as you guys can see. Really awesome album this one is. This is, like I said, this is a 10th anniversary version. Only regret that they could have made it more for the booklet, but just a fast money grab, I think, from the label. Nonetheless, it's a really good, decent album, and an album I always wanted to have in my collection, and I finally have it. So definitely want to have some Gravedigger. Yeah, great raw vocals, great heavy metal, good stuff. Check it out. Over to the last three. This is a reissue from Product of Society by Defiance. Fresh from Oakland, I think, California. Band's first album released in 1989, and this is 2022 reissue, yes, by Music on CD, the Dutch label. Yes, we are there again. I'm really glad to have this back. This was a Fresh album that was not really standing out for all the big names around that period, you know, the Testaments and stuff like that, Annihilator, and you know, all those big bands back in the day. But it was also released around that period, and definitely it has some great tunes on here. And I hope I can get the booklet out here. Yeah, really good stuff. I was intrigued by the album cover, so I looked it up and found out this is a fresh album, so I thought let's grab that. Awesome, great stuff, great melodies, great riffing. Like I said, it's not standing out next to the other big thrash albums, Forbidden and whatever around that period was all out there, Slayer and whatever. You know how that goes, but it's definitely, if you're a thrash fanatic, definitely can look into this. Really good stuff. It's even produced by Jeff Waters. Now we all know who Jeff Waters is. It's, yeah, you know what you gonna get. Defiance with Product of Society, great thrash. Go check it out if you are not familiar with this. Next up is a band from Poland. This is a band that's pretty dear to me. This is Decapitated with Organic Hallucinosis. The band's fourth album, if I'm not mistaken. This was the last one before they broke up for a while, because with this tour the band they were involved in an accident with a tour bus, and some members stranded in the hospital. One was injured pretty well, but even one member, the drummer Vitek, didn't survive the crash, sadly enough, because he was a phenomenal musician. So that left only one member, because they didn't have a bass player at the time, a real permanent member. So he joined Vader for a while until 2009, and he thought, let's resurrect the band again with a whole new lineup. This is the last one before, you know, the accident. It was released in 2006, and the first one with kind of a style change, because the first couple of albums, the first three, were definitely more death metal orientated. This definitely has a lot of death metal in there. Don't get me wrong here, but there's definitely some groove metal going on here as well. This was the start when they really changed their sound, and that's what continued after the reunion. Get more groovy, and the albums I didn't really get into so far. I tried a couple of times, but I didn't really, you know. I always keep, weird kind of way, always go back to the first three albums, and yeah, maybe this album is a really nice bridge between those sounds, because this album that definitely has both sides, the fast death metal pumping riffs, the blast beats, but also the groovy parts, and it makes a really nice, diverse album, I have to say. And yeah, I really like listening to this one. It's a pretty decent album. Now released on Earache. This is the CD. And like I said, I definitely need to get more into the newer albums, but I still didn't click me for so far, because like I said, it's more groovy metal. Especially remind me of more of things like Soulfire and things like that. Not that I hate that kind of sound, but it's if you are used to death metal, then it's a pretty big change, let's put it that way. And yeah, I always wonder why bands do that. Yeah, because they want to play that sound. That's of course the intention from most of those bands. But yeah, it's always hard as a fan to grow along with a band, you know. So yeah, I have to learn, I guess. But this is still a very nice bridge, and I still like this album, so I thought let's pick it up. Organic Hallucinosis by Decapitated. And the last one in this stack, before I go, otherwise the video will be too long, is the new one from Immolation, Acts of God. Fantastic comeback, 5 years after a tournament. It's been a while, but finally the guys from New York, Yonkers, New York, are back with a new death metal album, and it sounds just like you would have expected. Dark, heavy, fast, technical death metal, great riffings, heavy growls of Ross Dolan. Yeah, it's no surprise, let's put it that way. If you put it on, you know what to expect. There are some intro things and things like that, but overall it's straightforward, you know. There are some great melodies on here as well. Sometimes they let loose the gas pedal a bit, but here moments there are really fast. And you know, the technical guitar player Robert Vigna is always present. Fantastic album, really nice comeback, definitely will be in my year list. It's a really good album, and I really love this band. I only need a couple of, I'm only missing 1 or 2 albums, I think, probably 2, and if I have those, I have the discography complete. Which album I'm missing? Kingdom of Conspiracy, I think, and another one I can't recall, but yeah, then I would have the collection complete. But this is a phenomenal comeback album. Yeah, if you love their previous albums, you will love this as well. It's just, yeah, Immolation, guys, you know how they sound, so blind buy for fans, definitely great stuff. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this update, even with the short interruption there, so I have to add those again to each other. We'll see how that works out. Thank you all for watching, I really appreciate it, and hope to see you guys back soon with another new video. I will try my best to give you guys content as much as I can. I won't overdo it, just after a couple of days most of the time. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next video. Cheers, and have a great weekend, guys. See you later.